Now, tourism was perhaps the most affected industry when COVID-19 struck. Hotels started receiving booking cancellations and rescheduling at the onset of 2020 as the virus spread to key source markets. When Kenya closed its borders in efforts to contain the spread of the virus, airlines were grounded, some hotels closed, while others were forced to convert their premises to isolation facilities. These would persist for at least 3 months, and the net effect was massive layoffs and deep salary cuts for those in the tourism value chain.
The period between January and March is regarded as the best time to visit safari destinations in Kenya due to the mild weather patterns, mostly dry and ideal for game viewing. It is considered ideal for those who want to avoid crowds associated with the peak season. However, 2020 was different. As coronavirus spread, countries responded by closing their borders and airspaces. This directly affected the local aviation and tourism industry that heavily relies on international travelers to stay afloat.
Hata tulikuwa hatuna haraka, tujajiprepare vizuri sababu ingekuwa ni season ya kawaida, ile wageni wanakuwa wengi hapa. Huwa tumejipanga kutoka asubuhi kabisa, tunatarajia tuko busy na kila kitu, lakini kwa saa hii sababu kabisa kutoka tufungue hakuna wageni.
Hotels, tour companies, airlines and others within the hospitality value chain had already started feeling the impact of COVID-19 in February and March. This worsened on 13th of March when Kenya confirmed the first case of coronavirus. The confirmation of more cases in days that followed would see the government on April 6th ban the movement in and out of Nairobi, Mombasa, Kilifi and Kwale in efforts to contain the spread of the virus within the country as well as infections from international travelers. What followed were a series of measures that changed the hospitality industry and travel too, as passenger airlines and vehicles remained grounded. The months of April, May and June were the worst for businesses that rely on customers from outside Kenya, such as tourism and aviation.
The issue is different. Nobody expects. The problem is a problem, okay, but we can solve. I'm positive we not in COVID. We pass this time.
Hotels and restaurants were closed as the government banned sit-in customers in hotels, allowing only takeaway services. Further, bars and entertainment parlors were required to shut their doors to discos.
This morning we're at the park because we're launching the virtual live stream, which is a project that we have begun to be able to showcase the destination, especially this time when people are not able to visit the destination. We have seen an opportunity where people are online and they're looking and thinking about places that they can go to. And that's a great opportunity for us to actually showcase the destination live. So we have begun the project and we are going to go to 16 different destinations where we will be showcasing different aspects of the destination, both in wildlife, in beach, in conservation, in community, and that will help people to have a taste of what is waiting for them once we are open for business.
They say necessity is a mother of invention, and the industry adopted various mechanisms to weather the storm, including virtual safaris to offer live game safaris streamed online.
Today we are starting with Nairobi National Park to do the virtual tour, safari tour, and also streaming live. I start as a Minister of Tourism and Wildlife. We have the Director General of the Kenya Wildlife Service and the people behind the conservation programs.
The hoteliers were not left behind. They defined their spaces, converting their rooms to meeting areas, all in bid to keep afloat.
We are not expecting the international market to pick up next year with campaigns. The year after, which is a year for elections, we are looking at domestic market.
In early December, Tourism Cabinet Secretary Najib Balala said tourist arrivals through all points of entry to Kenya dropped by 72%. to 470,971 in the first 10 months to October, compared to 1.72 million arrivals in the same period in 2019. Balala blamed the massive reduction to a near total collapse of international arrivals between April and July due to travel restrictions, and then a slight improvement took place after the resumption of international flights in August. Despite this, the International Air Transport Association projects that the global passenger air traffic will recover to the pre-COVID traffic levels in 2024, a year later than previously projected.
Congratulations to Kenya Airport Authority and also congratulations to Kenya Airways, because everybody is gearing to take off.
The global passenger numbers are projected to increase 62% in 2021, but still will be about 30% lower than the pre-COVID times. Locally, airlines such as Kenya Airways were kept in the skies by cargo business, which saw the national carrier convert most of the then grounded passenger aircrafts to cargo carriers. In September, Jumbo Jet diversified from scheduled passenger flights to chartered flights, targeting business persons, families and groups that may be attending social events such as weddings, corporate meetings, missions and humanitarian deliveries. The new service is a revenue stream for Jumbo Jet and aims at addressing the shift in consumer needs, especially travelers who prefer privacy and convenience.
The pricing is determined by quite a number of variable factors, be it the distance, be it the market, be it the costings are different from across the board. So what we do is that once you have where you want to go, you will share that with us and we'll cost it for you.
AITA projects that African airlines would record revenue losses of $125 million and 36,800 job losses in 2020. To cushion local airlines and other hospitality industry players, the government offered a stimulus of $500 million shillings for post-corona recovery.
Charter is not a new thing in Kenya, and therefore we have already an existing market segment. Our objective is to come in and grow the business of charters. So we'll focus in the domestic, we'll look at regional.
While we can only hold our breath given that this is by far the worst year in the historical series of international tourism since 1950 and puts an abrupt end to a 10-year period of sustained growth since a 2009 financial crisis. A tourism CS Najib Balala says time is ripe for a change in tact. It is no longer about waiting for international visitors to come in for tourism to thrive. As a country, we must start appreciating the domestic market and offer them products that are right for them. Well, as you toss to a new year, be mindful of the health safety protocols.
Mine is Kenya, so warm and wild and free. You'll always stay with me here in my heart.
Happy New Year. I'm Regina Manyara, reporting for Channel 1 and Year in Review.